Hi, this is Kim Pinkney, and welcome to my channel. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and start off with where we left off. Hopefully it doesn't look like crap.
I'm on Rocky Libertyville. Freedom rings through my stride. Freedom to be inside. Be enslaved in my pride.
Alright, doesn't look too pixelated. We'll see what happens when we get to the face. But yeah, this right here was going to be, and it feels like a doodle. Doing Rihanna as a Rihanna the Barbarian, instead of barbarian, it'd be Barbadian. She's an aquatic Amazon type character, and I am pretty much drawing her. And at first, I started off with her kind of like standing up and upright and just posing with a trident. And I'm like, you know what, this is boring. So I decided to go ahead and change it up a bit. I want to get more, this year I want to focus more on telling a story with my art, not just doing a portrait or just drawing a picture, a pretty picture, or just somebody posing. I mean, that's something that I've done in the past, you know, oh, pretty picture, little pose, but it doesn't go anywhere, it doesn't do anything, it doesn't lay any building blocks. And one of the things I want to do is kind of populate a world. And one of the stories that I had kind of came up with in my head as I was drawing this one picture of mermaids attacking a diver riding a hammerhead shark. And I'm like, you know what would make these mermaids attack this guy? And then in my head, I just started building up this mythos, kind of like a fantasy mythos of you've got like a land dwellers who are just trying to take over everything. And one of the places that they haven't conquered was the sea. And then they'll have their sights set on the air, because there's just so much real estate underwater, you know, and there's so much real estate in the air. So right now I've got them in this kind of samurai feudal period. So the guys in the diving outfits, they look like samurais, but with the old-time diving bell helmets. The sharks, they're tamed enough for them to ride. And we left off right here on day one. Hitting into day two, or hour 2 or 3 or whatever it was. I lose track of time when I draw. I started trying to change up her pose. Because I have her head kind of and her eyes looking off the page, I have to do something that fits this kind of pose. And then I'm like, you know what, I don't want a pose. I want her to look like she's in the midst of something. And so I have her kind of holding one of the diving helmet type of things. She's one of the creatures that are fighting for the sea, or at least her neck of the woods of the sea. And the other ones, they were like deep ocean. So so she's the Barbadian. So I'm thinking that maybe it's a cove or something like that she's trying to defend. Maybe she's one of the few that haven't decided to pledge allegiance. Maybe she's a princess of some sort that had to become a warrior, so she doesn't have all her marks on her. But I think I'm going to give her tattoos, and I want to give her some scars or something that shows that she's been in a couple fights. But right here, it could be like just kind of like a little victory thing. She's got her trident stuck in one of the helmets, and you know, and she's got a little bit of buffage to her. So I wanted to kind of show that. And then I couldn't quite remember how the body connected in this neck of the woods, so I ended up getting some source images together. And I showed where what I was kind of looking at and kind of my inspiration. Then I got kind of caught up with how is her hand holding the trident. It's not like I hold a trident on a daily basis. So pretty much I'm still trying to struggle with what I wanted to do with her hand, and then trying to make it look less awkward. And with the pose that I have here, she's got this going on. She's holding the helmet up. And then I want to create like the sea, like just a stormy background behind her. Like this is something that even the gods are like, this sucks, this sucks. You know, they're like, someone's not happy. And the seas are not happy. So maybe they planned their attack during a storm, thinking that these people would be caught off guard. This defender would be caught off guard. And maybe she is the last, maybe she isn't. I haven't decided yet. But that's kind of the stuff that runs through my head as I'm trying to figure out how to make a pose work. And I think what I'll go ahead and do is work on a background because I'm kind of tired of looking at this plain white field. And I'm not very great at backgrounds, which is all the more reason I need to do backgrounds. But in addition to this, I want to kind of make this into a, what is it called? Almost like a coloring page. So I have to be able to create like an outline of some sort so that other people, if they feel froggy and want to color it, they can. Or this might not be. So I don't know. I don't know how I'm leading on this. Maybe full scenes like that should lead to or lend themselves to something that's less likely of what I'm trying to do. Okay, so let's see. We're going to do a horizon. Now, from what I understand, the horizon is supposed to be eye level. So I'm going to go ahead and separate this. I'm going to have the skies be like light blue or like shades of blue. There we go. Let's see, and we'll keep it eye level because we're going to have to look down to see all this, or I could do it right here where our eyes is looking at. Usually it's eye level on the person or the subject that's here. So let's see what looks best. Let me take that here. Let me get back into my stream here. Bring this bad boy over just in case you guys pop in and say hi or have a suggestion. Tomorrow I'd really like to either get to doing the tattoos if I don't get to them today. And if not, the tattoos, I kind of want to finish this. I want to do some cartooning. Let's see. Let me go back. Make sure I'm on the right layer because it's always on the wrong layer. Okay. We'll do a straight line. God, I love this program. Let me bring that up a bit. About eye level. Okay, so that's what's going to give us our horizon line. And I'm going to do some clouds, cloudy sky. So what I'm pretty much going to do, let's see, we'll throw a solid color here. Quickest way that I know to fill an area. Let's see. Let's try it like this. And we'll just toss that on in there. I think that's too dark. Maybe not. Let's see. Let's try a different color. About that tone. There we go. Maybe lighter blue. Now, when I was coloring with crayons and whatnot like that, I would always have to, I'd have to I had to work from light to dark because it's easier to go, to go from light to dark than dark to light. Because colors layer on themselves. Let's get some dark tones here for the bottom of the clouds. Maybe a bit of a purplish tone. Let's see, we'll come up in here. let's see, maybe in that neck of the woods, and we'll soften it up. And I'm going to try a couple different brushes. Right now I'm going to use the soft brush, and I'm just going to kind of vary and just kind of get this kind of action going. Then I'm going to take another tone that's a little bit lighter, maybe a lighter blue, and then try to hit it around the top of the clouds. And then maybe give some like hardcore white areas. Like they're peeping through the clouds. Yeah. And just kind of keep it soft and varied. We'll throw some more dark blue in here. Let's see. And just to get some variance here, let's try a different brush, something that's kind of fuzzy. That gives us some variance. I'm using Zombie Skin. And all the brushes I'm going to pretty much be using. I don't want the light. Let's see. There we go. Everywhere I'm putting the dark is like where the dark clouds are. Let's see. There's other brushes too. Let's see. There are some elemental brushes. This one is water, and I want to see what water looks like. Or even oceans. Let's see. The ocean is going to be like a darker blue around here near the horizon. We'll make this bigger. So the closer we get to the horizon, it's going to be a lot darker. And there shouldn't be any waves really. There we go. Not too much. It's a fascinating brush. Let's get an overall color down. Let me go ahead and fill this with like a blue. We'll do it with like a teal, maybe a little bit of green, because I want to kind of play off of what she's got on her skin. I want to kind of keep her like a Caribbean sea creature goddess type of thing. Okay, so this greener part is going to be like the mid-tone area, the mid area where she is, and then it'll get blue again down here. So let's see if we can get that blue back. I like this history area. And then I want to use water here. Let me make that bigger. And then we'll use the waves again. Just want to try the different brushes and see what they all do for us. Now I'm going to throw some waves in as well. Let's see, we're going to put it like the green. We'll make it a little bit green. Put it like right when it turns green. Okay, so let's see if we can make, let's see, we'll bring this up some more. I wonder, will flames, yeah. Okay, I'm going to use the flames to kind of make the crest of some of the waves. So here's one right here. I'm going to have a wave right here. We need to come in front of her. Let's see, there's her body right here, so I need to be above that. And this will just like be the sea foam type of thing. And we'll have it all over the place here. And then I'm going to have like just a few waves or some lines to kind of annotate that the wave is coming upwards. Coming down and receding. Alright, we'll throw some dark green. Oops, I think I'll change my brush in a sec. Yeah, let's change it to the soft brush again. Or actually, let's try clouds. I want to see what this does. Interesting. Let's see. Let's get back into the blue and see if that gives us that softness. Oh, look at that. Isn't that pretty? We got some fluffy clouds there. We'll make it bigger. And then what we'll do is we'll just soften up some of the areas, darken up some of the areas. We'll get some gray, maybe a gray blue. Make it a little angrier. Let me bring that down just a smidge. And then have this be blue. Maybe a dark blue. Looks like smoke, which is not a bad thing. Okay, we're going to smudge some of this stuff up here and just kind of go in like a circular fashion, and everywhere where it's dark is like the bottom of the clouds. We'll smudge it down here to get these guys to kind of blend. We'll do the same thing down here. And we'll get more blue back here to reflect the sky a bit. Change this brush to not flames, let's do ocean, just for giggles. And I'm going to vary the line so it has this like this variance here. We should throw some sharks in there, going behind her and stuff. Okay, let's go ahead and soften some of these up here. Just find these lines here. and then we'll crisp up some. Just kind of make it look like the waves are doing their thing. And we'll come back with some highlights here. And I think I want to try to make it a little bit more mythical. Let's see. I want to try luminance. And I think I'll use the light pen because I just love abusing it. Oops, excuse me. And we'll just use that among the foam here. And let's see, we'll use a little bit of the green here. Alright, okay, so we'll use a bit of the luminance just to highlight some of the waves. And we'll see if we can get some of this to soften right here. I like that water brush. Let's see. Now, okay, I'm trying to think that she is like an organic type of character. So she probably wouldn't have metal. Maybe she would. Trying to think. Primitive. They would use more like spears and stuff. So let's see if we can keep that like kind of woody. We'll come back to the outside here, maybe tone it down a little bit, make it darker, maybe make some things darker, some things lighter. But it's a nice start. It's a nice start, and we'll play with the sky, make it a little bit more angry. Let's see. But I want to see if I can get this to stand out a little bit so I can plan around it. Let's see. So this right here, we'll throw this. Do I have enough layers? I'll take this one here. I'll put that one right underneath. Okay, so thinking wood. Whoops. Maybe not that layer. Let's see. Try again. It's like untouched by man and just doing their own thing, and these jerks come along and tell them you need to bow down to us, and they're like, no. And they attack, get into fights. And let's see, maybe this could be like some sort of mystical wood thing, like fairy type wood or something like that. So if we're going to do that, let's go ahead and give it some light of some sort. Maybe give it some sparkle. Give it some glimmer. Let's see. Maybe I can make it blue? I'm wondering, to give it just some power around it. Let's try something here. So like maybe it's ultimately brown, but let me drop the thingy here. Maybe bring that down a bit. Let's try the light pen. No, not the sparkles from that. We'll give it for this item. And then maybe it'll give off sparks. Oops. And just make the light just kind of fuzzy. Ooh, where's that water? Elements. Water. And we'll make that white. Bit much. I thought water was more random, but doesn't want to do that. Let's try a different brush. I know I've got some brushes here that are crazy random. Oh, that's oceans. No wonder it's all straight. Okay. There we go. I want it to kind of look like lightning. There we go. Good girl. All right. And we'll tame it a bit. All right. Okay. So we got that going on for us. We'll get that diving helmet in there. That's going to be like shades of gray. Let's see. We got maybe a blue-gray. See, I want to do card brush. No, let's do that. Selection doesn't do it. Okay. Let's see. It'll have to be above this layer here. Let's see, we'll put it here. And hard brush. Make it black. There we go. Yeah. Okay, let's fill this bad boy. Okay. All right, using the same like techniques that you would if you were highlighting things in okay, so the light is coming from this direction, so this will all be lit, And since it's round, there should be a shadow. So I think the shadow will be like about right here. So maybe we've got two light sources. We've got whatever's coming up from the top here and whatever's coming down from the bottom here. So let's go ahead and make that like a lighter gray. Oops. And we'll give it a splatter maybe. We want to keep it in the same thing here. Let's see if alpha lock works for us. That should only let us stay within wherever this color is. So we've got it lit up right here. And then since this is the brightest, we'll make this a little bit whiter. And then the shadow should be opposite of this. So that would be like black or deep dark gray. Let's see, we'll get that gray. We'll go darker. And we'll make it like maybe purplish. I want to play with those colors. Gray, yeah. We'll have it like maybe in the purple range here. So the closer you get to the light, then it starts to get darker. Or let's see, this is light, and then it should gradually lighten to the dark. This should be extremely black right here. Maybe even further this way. And then we'll lighten it up over in this neck of the woods here. And that should give it that rounder look. Just soften it. And then we'll get a little bit of light here. We'll have it kind of reflect the sky. And I think we'll make it a little lighter. There we go. Just about here, but it won't be as bright as that right there. And it's got a little bit of texture going on with it. And then we'll just kind of soften it up a bit. We don't want to lose the texture completely, so I'm going to drop the opacity on it just a smidge. And then I think I'll get rid of some of these extra lines that we no longer need. I wonder, maybe I should just get rid of it completely. Let's see. I don't think I need this layer anymore. Nah. We'll get rid of this layer. We'll clear it and use it for something else. I'll bring this up to the top here. Okay. Alright, so we've got part of the diving helmet, and I think what I'll do is I'll look up, I think it was it World War II diver? I can't remember if it was like World War I. Yeah. Okay, but I wanted to kind of look almost samurai. Let's see. Come on, you. My computer's like, I can't go any faster, damn it. Okay, close out a couple screens here so it just goes a little faster. I think we'll change up the music too. Let's see. Dun 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 dun. Not with me though. Right now I'm on epidemicsound.com, and it's got music moods, and this is like eccentric. That's why I've got all this crazy music playing. Um, let's see. They've changed it up a bit, so it's kind of weird to select things. There we go. Let's see. Do we feel like electronic or dance? I want something that's gonna like kind of wake me up a bit. Let's try some pop. No, I think I like beats. Bum bum ba bum bum ba. Yeah, it's not a bad service. I kind of like it, and I just let it play in the background, and sometimes it helps me with how the music is, how the artwork is going to go, the kind of vibe that it's throwing off. Okay, so some of the things I need to keep in mind is that if this is giving off light, we've got to have light reflect on our skin. If this is creating shadow, I need to reflect that as well. So I got to remember to put that on in there. Okay, so like the diving helmet has like all kinds of craziness on it. So like this is the front, it still has like a little circle here. Let's see, we'll use this layer and we'll bring it down. And I think it's the settings that I chose that make it so that my replay is kind of rough. There we go. And then we'll get a harder brush in there. I kind of like, I like this one. Oops. Did I say I like that one? Let's see. Just want to kind of just bring that on in. Yeah, I like these little shape tools. Okay. And then they've got like little lines that crisscross. Why am I doing it the hard way? And creating lines is pretty freaking easy. You just hold it down and it becomes a line. It's not perfect, but I think I should break it. Let's see. We'll have it concave a bit. Have it reflect a bit around the edges here. Make it a little dark in some places, like maybe around in this. And just kind of soften it. Oops. Ooh, definitely got to put like breaks and scratches and stuff like that on here. He done messed up. He done messed with the wrong diva. Let's see, we need to throw some gray in there. We'll select a little bit of that. And let's see, have this is the front, it kind of comes down. And we'll just kind of have it broken or something like that. Maybe she ripped it off of him. Actually, just fill it in. and just drag it on in. And then just kind of smudge it upwards. Oops. Maybe not, because I'm probably not on the same layer. I'll combine those layers. It was this one and this one. Just pinch it a bit and see if we can get these guys to... No, it's not working. Let's try this. What is this? We're not selected. There's like a big gap in between, and it won't let me fill. Why are you not letting me fill? Is there something here? It's very strange. Oh, duh, Kim. It's because this layer here has that alpha lock. Well, alpha lock works. Oh, that's right. I moved these guys. Okay, so back to square. Okay, I think they're combined. Yes. Okay. Turn off the alpha lock. There we go. Another reason why I don't use it often. It works. Alright, I'm going to erase a little bit of her arm here. We no longer need it. Okay. And then I'm going to come back to this layer and then just kind of smudge it down into each other and then throw more texture and whatnot into it. Let's see. Have the light come a little bit here. Crap, what time is it? Okay, I'm cool. 6:50. I'm cool, you cool? I'm cool. Okay. Alright, so we've got a little bit of the highlight there. We'll just kind of smudge this in. We should have blood all over the goddamn place. Okay, let's see. He's not going to give up his helmet without a fight. Alright. Yeah, I kind of imagine it being like this male-dominated society. You know, a lot of sexist pigs. We have to protect our women because of reasons. Maybe because of their sexism, women were considered property, secondhand citizens because they couldn't fight as hard as them, and kind of like real life where they like a society that has so many double standards for their women that women don't want to be there. So maybe some of them fled for other reasons, to find a better life, and maybe because of the way the atmosphere is, they've evolved into different creatures and whatnot, and it's just another way of asserting control over the world and of its denizens, including women, or the women that they do have. I don't want to say that they're trapped. Maybe they have accepted their fate, and maybe they're better for it. Some better for it, some are not so good. Kind of like how women are in some societies are put down because they haven't married by the age of 24 or 5 or something like that. So those women maybe not so much, or even those that just don't want to deal with being dominated. Just they want their own say in their life, and they just don't have it. So maybe that's one of the reasons why it's they put so many restrictions on their women because they don't want to lose them. They need to perpetuate their species, and they can't if the women are rebelling. Or, these are female-dominated societies here that they're trying to conquer. Never been tried before, but, it's like, hey, we moved off into the sea. We're doing our sea thing, and we ain't gonna let no skirts mess with us, type of thing. These are fish, type of thing. They underestimate them at every turn and not doing well. Okay, so let's see, let's throw some highlights in there. Throw a couple more highlights in there. Just want to kind of give it this shine. We'll just kind of smooth it out a bit. Make some parts shinier than others. It can become a social commentary, and the creatures that they're trying to defeat, they consider them the enemy. It just depends on who's telling the story, whose side you're on. Whose perspective. It's like, that was a pretty dick move to go there and destroy all the creatures and then take the fairest of them all as your brides because you couldn't get a woman in your own area. Spoils of war, I guess you could call it. Let's go ahead and soften this, and then I do not like those in there. Let's see. Oops. I'm going to soften this. I think what I want to do, I want to put something that looks like since I consider these guys the Iron Sun, and I guess like to aquatic creatures, the sun is not always a good thing. It dries you out. It's always on top. You get the rays that come down, but it dries up waters and stuff like that, so maybe the sun is not always looked at as a favorable thing. And then you've got guys that are coming from the surface, wreaking havoc and chaos. Oops. Stop choosing the eraser, Kimberly. Yeah, and I come up with these ideas, but then when it comes down to writing them, I get hung up on, okay, so should I use passive voice or current voice or, present tense, past tense, all the elements of writing without actually frickin' putting pen to paper. Like, who's telling the story? Who's the story about? So it's like, I'll have a protagonist, but it's like, I want to be able to tell what these guys are doing. Well, then, and I want to be able to, and then it's like, okay, then you become the narrator. Or you can be the, what is it called? The unreliable narrator. Craziness like that. And I get hung up on those things instead of just write the damn story. Put it out there. Worry about that other stuff later. But I need to pick your hero. Stop jumping around from hero to hero. or you can, but make one of them at least the main. Okay, so this helmet is really small compared to, so maybe she's bigger than the men. That'd be interesting. You know, Amazon warrior, if she's like a whale and she grows bigger. Not bigger as in, you know, fat, but, you know, big. You know, everything was plenty until these guys came along. There's one way of looking at it. Okay, so let's see if we can fix these clouds, make them a little bit angrier, and then see if I can throw in those tattoos. So maybe I'll be done a little bit faster than I think I'm going to be. Let's see. And I think what I'll do is I'll take her coloring and bring it down just a bit. Let's see if I can. So that it kind of goes through the water. We can kind of see. Now, if she's a mermaid, she's kicking herself upwards. This can be a lot of fun. I think what I want to do is maybe cartoon it up a bit. You know, make either anime characters or something like that and have them play the roles. Okay, so with this helmet, I gotta throw something samurai-ish just so it will look more Terran. Like, let's see. Now, some of the samurai helmets, they have like little wings on the outside here. Maybe I can kind of see. I want to keep that diving helmet shape though. I know some of them have like moon shapes or horn looking things. Let's see if I can create something like that. Something like this. I think it was like, yeah, I found a really cute Oni looking one. Gimme, I want to see the picture. Okay, all right. And I think having something like that, I mean, the guys look intimidating. And I'm wondering if maybe, like, I was playing with this idea of making like this Amazon race. And they would, I think they kidnapped men, you know, had their way with them, took their sperm and stuff like that. And then if they had boys, they would send them back to the village that they stole the men from to raise. But if they had girls, they'd keep them. But they couldn't steal like all the men. They'd probably just take one or two, use them until they couldn't use them anymore, and then send them back. Yeah, I can just imagine all these men going, she never writes, she never calls. Let's see, I need this to, I want this to kind of stand out. Let's see. Use a darker tone. We'll have this come in between. I need a thinner line. And this will be like a little ridge. Awkward. I think I should need to turn this. There we go. I should have created this on a different layer, simply because I don't want to ruin what's already here. I'll use that as a shadow. Smudge, damn you! There we go. Just smudge it down, give it the... If I bring out the shadow a bit, it'll make it look like it's hovering. There we go. And then wherever there's a shadow, there should be a corresponding light. So let me go ahead and add a little bit of highlight here. And that'll make that stand out a little bit more. I don't want to, yeah, and I don't want to erase that big. Okay, go back. Just get rid of some of the strays here. All right. And then just kind of get it to reflect a bit of the sky. Yeah, so I'm wondering if maybe, so like if this was like a female-dominated society, or there were mermen, but they went off to fight and they were decimated by these guys. Or they just like, if one society is a female-dominated society, maybe everybody's fighting together. Or just, you know, a society that will fight together. You know, they see the value in all people, you know, and then foolishly tried to trust these guys, and only to find out they want to take too much. That's always a possibility, too. Just kind of smudge these colors together so they look like they belong together. And since this has got a highlight on it, I may as well toss a bit of a highlight on these areas. Okay. We'll use a little bit of dark gray here. All right. And I think, so this is like maybe, let's see, there would have been like a little circle here. We'll put the circle here. And then the diving the main diving viewfinder thingy here. Just grab a little bit of this gray here, just fill this in. Let's see, we'll need to throw some, let's see, some light on her. No, let's see, we'll play with that in a sec. Okay, back beast. Okay. Well, since we've got her all nice and outlined, I gotta outline the diving helmet too. So we'll put that on the outline layer, which ended up having the thing on it. I don't think this is going to end up being the coloring book one, but then again I can always go back over it and trace it, so yeah, let's do that. Make some of these lines just a little bolder. And I like the cord. Oh, this looks tight. Okay, let's see. I'm going to bring like that little flap that I was talking about. I'm going to bring part of that flap out. And then, let's see, we'll have the helmet have the plates. Like a samurai. They'd have like these little plates here. Instead of it looking like that. Come out that far. You probably won't see that end. So she took off his helmet. Okay, and then we'll just fill this in here. What time is it? Shoot. Okay. I have to do the replay. All right. Not bad. This was fun. Because I did not expect that I would make this look all like really hardcore samurai. So I'm wondering, what would I call this? Would I call it How the Iron Sun Took Over? There's a line here for some reason. I don't know what that is. Okay, let me get out of this. Come down a bit. And let me just go ahead and smooth. Now this would be kind of cool to bring in, you know, celebrities into your story, or like, it's kind of like dream casting. I don't want to get sued. He's like, you got Beyonce like slaying warriors, and next thing you know, you got a lawsuit on your hand. It's like, no, you may be fierce without my permission. Okay, and I just need to add some highlights and stuff like that to make it look wet and whatnot. All right, and I think if I keep her like tropical looking, that would definitely contrast the plates and stuff being, the iron gray look. And we'll finish this up tomorrow. All right. Okay, so that's where we are thus far. And let's go ahead and do a quick replay. And for those who are just joining us, and that'll be it for today. You guys, thank you so much for joining me, and I truly appreciate it. But yeah, so basically this idea kind of evolved from just a basic, boring, standing upright and looking butch to where we are today with Rihanna looking like she's owning an Oni type of character. But basically, I love how when I draw, it'll start off one way and then it'll totally evolve into something completely and utterly different. So starting with the drawing, because the whole premise of it was to make it look like her. And I just woke up one morning and went, this is boring. Who can, portraits are easy, but doing scenes and whatnot like that, telling a story, is hard. And I think this year is all going to be about doing more storytelling, less portraiture, cartooning for no reason, to doing like a little story. So let me go ahead and get this back to centered. So basically, the idea was that I've got these samurai who are trying to dominate the world. They've already conquered the land. Now they're trying to conquer the sea in Barbadia. And they've come across the Barbadian, either queen, princess, Amazon, warrior. That is Rihanna. And this was me trying to figure out what pose to put her in without her looking like she's posing. And no matter what I did, she still looked like she was posing. And, it's like, okay, I'm at rest. No, you're not at rest. You need to be in motion. You need to be doing something. You need to give a feeling of some sort. So I wanted her to kind of have a feeling of triumph, but maybe just a little too soon. Just taking in the situation after taking down one of the guys. Maybe she sees a whole bunch of them. That would be crazy. Maybe having them sitting on sharks circling her. That would be tight. But anyway, I just pulled that one out of my ass. That would be kind of cool to throw on there, to have her battling that. But yeah, it went from just doing a simple portrait-ish type thing to something that is going to be kind of like a mythology in this one particular world. So good luck trying to conquer this land, gentlemen. And I can see if they're women, they conquered, like say they conquered their own people. They conquered the land that their people were on. Then they decide to set their eyes on the sea to give themselves greater domain or whatnot. So then they screwed up by messing with, the people of the sea. And they came across this chick. So now she is supposed to be a diva of some sort. So, so she's going to hold her own. Because that's what divas do. And okay, so tomorrow I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to add the tattoos, But I like the idea of them circling her. And then she'd have to take them on. So this could be kind of like maybe a cover art of whatever story that would be. You know, the Adventures in Barbadia. So I can imagine like fishermen and whatnot, they kept their distance, or every now and then they would come back with a sea story of how they got captured by Barbadians and, you know, were raped. Some willing, some unwilling. And that's how they maintained their population. So that's one way of kind of looking at it. And then now is someone trying to dominate them and coming into their world. They're not quite happy about that. So here I am still just, at first it was just going to be like the diver and the diving helmet and stuff like that. And she's like holding the head up and is pretty proud of herself. But I decided to take it a little bit further and add the samurai to it, the samurai element. Like she took down a grand warrior. And I think I want to make him more into like a general of some sort. So I think I'll put some sort of animal or something like that on the top. Something that looks kind of royal. But yeah, but I think going around her, it would be kind of badass to have these guys on there. But for now, we might just stick with this. We'll stick some tattoos on her and we'll call it. You guys, thanks again for joining me, and I will see you on the morrow. Take care. Bye-bye.